Welcome back to Ghetto But It Works. Today we have a really special guest, a friend, a mentor, someone that's taught me the ropes in my personal career. Someone I've been very excited to have. He's a prime example of what we want to do in this show, which is show people that come from nothing and are making it work and are achieving their dreams and goals. We got Manny here today.
Hey, thank you for inviting me over here, man. I'm happy to be here.
Before we get into the business aspect, I kind of want to know a little bit more about you, background, childhood. I know a little bit just because I've known you for a while now, but I think it's important that everyone else gets to see it. Because I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there in the world that have been through similar scenarios or are probably going through it at this moment. You get me started with just your background, your family, your parents, how you were raised.
Yeah, I was raised with both parents, my dad, my mom. They came from Mexico illegally, and they raised us to be better. That's why they came to this country to do it. I always had their support. But in the real world, you get that bad influence with people. They say there's a saying if you got 5 friends that are not being successful, you're gonna be the sixth one,
Right.
the sixth loser.
Right.
And that's how I was too. Since I was little, I used to hang out with all these people that I thought they were cool, so I wanted to be their friends. And as I grew and I grew, it affected me. Middle school, started doing drugs, started fighting, got influenced with the games. High school, that's when, I took it to the next level. Got jumped in, started doing harder drugs, started drinking, started skipping school. I was to the point where, I was the most dangerous guy in high school. And it affected me because a lot of people, when I was young, they always told me, you're going to end up 6 feet under or you're going to end up in prison.
Only two options.
That's the only two options I had. And me as a little rascal, I'm like, ha,
Right. You're invisible. That's
yeah,
not gonna happen to me.
I'm invisible, I thought I was bulletproof. I'm like,
Yeah.
nothing's gonna happen to me. But reality hit me one time. So it was October 10th. And I know this because it was my mom's birthday. Me and my brother went to the store. We went to get her a birthday cake.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we get phone calls right away. We're like, oh shit, something fucking happened. So we answer him. It's my dad. He's like, hey, they just shut the house. I'm at the house right now. I'm like, oh shit.
People shut the house.
People shut the house.
Wow.
And the problem is that I went over there and I knew who it was right away.
Yeah. Even before.
Even before I knew.
Yeah.
And, we did the report, all that. But as my background, I didn't want to tell anybody what was going on.
Right. Because you're in that world.
In the
You're
world,
gonna be seen as a snitch or something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So in the hood is if you snitch,
Stitches.
you get stitches right
Right,
away. So
right.
you gotta handle your business as a man.
Yeah.
So about like a week later, they threw a rock, broke the whole windows, the car windows, everything. I'm like, man, this ain't for me. I ain't risking my family for my stupid shit, So I asked my people, I'm like, hey, they broke my house. We got to get them. You know what they told me right away? They told me, nah, we ain't helping you.
When you've been there for them, doing all that shit with them.
When
Right.
I was doing their shit
Right.
for me, and I was getting all the blame for me.
Yeah.
Because they were my homies.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, that's the trust that I got. So I met this guy from Chicago, actual Chicago, Laurent Palmer. He came to the suburbs. He's like, man, come with me. We'll get them back. We got them back. But how is somebody that you don't know helping you out and your homies are out there
Right.
and everything? So it's like, you can't trust nobody in the world
Yeah.
and everything. You think that they're your friends, but when shit happens,
Yeah.
they're running away,
Yep.
leaving you by yourself.
Yeah. A lot of gangbangers are cowards too. They're tough in groups, and then when shit really hits a fan, and you're like, hey, let's go do something. They're like, nah, I don't want to do that.
And that's a problem too, because when I was in high school, I used to get jumped every day at the bus stop because it was 5 rival gang members against only me
In the neighborhood.
in the neighborhood. So I was always getting jumped every day, every day. But as a man, I'm like, you know what? You win some, you lose some.
Facts.
But at least they're gonna know that if they attack me, I'm going down pride.
Yeah.
So in my mentality, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, they jumped me, but this is my hood and everything. I thought the street was mine.
Right.
When
Right.
you're a little kid, you think
Yeah.
that little street right there, it belongs to you.
Yeah.
And nobody can do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So, junior year, my counselor told me, she's like, hey, you're not gonna graduate in time if you keep this up. Senior year, I stopped kind of game banging. I'm like, you know what?
How did when you talked to your boys and all that, you told them, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. What they say, how'd they take it?
They all the OGs
Yeah.
left and everything, and it was all new people.
Yeah.
So all those new people thought they were all tough because they were from Cali, from New Mexico, and they came over here. It's like, I've been long over here. I know those streets and
Right.
everything like that. So when they knew that I changed sides, they were mad. But as I told them, I'm like, hey, I asked you guys for help. You guys told me, fuck you. I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And everything. So a lot of people back then, high school was like kind of prison, because you got to have your own clique
Yeah.
to survive. So long story short, when I changed sides, all my rivals, all the OG rivals took me in. And they're like, hey, you know what, we'll help you out, but you help us out in case if we have problems with them.
Yeah.
And everything like that. So we stayed cool, we talked and everything like that. But in reality, there was one time where they told me, is it worth it? Is it everything worth for you? And my answer was, yeah. Because that's my hood right there. That's the love I got. And in the beginning, I told you I had my support of my 2 parents.
Yeah.
Normally, you hear that, hey, I don't got dad, I don't got mom.
Right.
But the problem is that I had both parents supporting me. So it was my decision to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So.
And you were influenced by those guys too, right?
Oh.
Like at a young age, that's a cool thing, right? Like.
Yeah. So you think, because you have 20 homies right there, you like, oh, I got 20 homies for life.
Right.
So it's like, but.
How many of those homies you talk to now?
None.
Right.
There's only one homie that I talk to.
Yeah.
And that's Felix.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's been there.
Shout out
ups and
Felix.
downs and everything
Shout out
like
Felix.
that,
Yeah.
So he's funny and everything like that.
Yeah.
But also I had to show him, don't mess with me.
Yeah.
And everything. I told him, hey, don't mess with me because I'm going to fuck you up. And everything. So he learned that the hard way and everything. So, but I got love for him and everything like that. I got his back to this day.
Yep.
And everything. And what happened is that in senior year, I just calmed down, still smoke my weed and everything. But senior year, I was about like 10 credits away from graduating. And that's impossible to do it in less than what I did because classes started in September. I graduated in January.
Damn, so you graduated early.
I graduated still early,
Yeah.
but I still stayed for the full time to help out the teachers out. The half of the year, I helped the teachers out on passing out papers, you know, sending stories to the dean, sending them the tickets and everything, you know. So in graduation, the dean actually stopped me, and he actually told me, "I'm proud of you," because all the teachers thought that I was gonna fail.
Right. They thought you were gonna be either dead or in jail by the time you were 21.
But I was 21,
Yeah.
so I graduated.
Yeah, and you were helping the teachers out
And
at
I was
that,
helping
right?
out.
Full 180.
So they saw it.
Yeah.
And everything. Got to college. Still with my mentality
Yeah.
of game banging,
Right.
doing drugs, going out,
Thugging.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Thug life.
Yeah.
You know? So first semester, my teacher pulled me aside. He's like, "You smart, but the stuff that you're doing is not gonna get you far." And I sat down right away. After that, I sat down in my car. I had a 1999 Ford Mustang and everything. I sat down and I'm like, what do I want in my life? I'm over 18 years old. I need something in my life. So after that talk, pushed myself through college. Paid it off, worked during the summertime, paid it off. At the end of the school year, I actually called all my deans from high school, and I told them that I was gonna graduate from college. Everybody showed up.
Damn.
Because they believe in me.
Damn.
Still.
I just got chills.
Okay.
I just got chills. I want to get to your mindset right before you opened up your company, right? So you opened it up in March 2019. Right before March 2019, when you decided to open up your company, what drove you there? What changed from 2018, right? What caused you to be like, you know what, I'm going to actually do this? I'm sure you probably thought about it in the past, right? But what actually caused you to do it? Because I know you. I know that when you opened it up, you really didn't know exactly what you were doing, really, right? Like you knew you wanted to open it up, and you learned along the way, and like clearly you've seen the success now, right?
Yeah.
But what got you there? What was the pivot, right? Like what was that change?
So in 2018, I was working for this apartment complex, and I was the maintenance supervisor. And literally, it's like 600 apartments in there.
Wow.
And it was just me, it was like a porter guy, groundskeeper,
Yeah.
with one technician. But I was the youngest of all the maintenance people. So I couldn't send them to do a refrigerator delivery. They were at the age where, they couldn't do no heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So, it killed me. It killed me because I was working 24/7. They actually said to me, they're like, you gotta leave the property because you don't work here no more. So literally, when I opened my company up, like you said, what got me into it, I just told myself, you know what? When they let me go, I said, no more. I'm not gonna work for somebody that doesn't appreciate my work anymore. And the problem is that you work for a 9-to-5 job. Yes, they say good job and everything. But in reality, you're just like a number.
You're just a number. If you fuck up, you're out.
You
replaceable.
fucked up real bad.
Yeah.
Hey, they're gonna find somebody else to replace you in one day.
Yep.
And everything. It doesn't matter if it takes 3 months. They're gonna replace you right away.
Yep.
So, I got tired of that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna open my business up. I started with a 2001 Astro van. little piece of shit, you know, all rusted out and
Yeah.
everything like that.
A little rapist band.
Little rapist van, you know, all white. So I'm like to myself, you know what?
Free candy.
Free candy and everything. I'm like, free candy over here. Nah. So I put the logo in about like a year later. And right away I had somebody that I was acquainted with. And I told him my plan. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm trying to open this company up. And it was like in 2014, 2015. So I already had the plan of opening it up.
Yeah, it was always in your mind.
In my mind. Yeah. And right away, I told him my name. I'm like, it's going to be Smurf. HVAC. And right away, he told me, nah.
Right. What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck is that, bro?
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not going to fit because when they say Smurf, they're going to think about the blue guys. They're not going to take you seriously. They're going to think that you're just playing around. You should put, like, airflow heating there.
Right, like 99% of every other company out there, right?
Like that. So if you realize that a lot of companies have mechanical, heating, air, all that stuff. So it was like, then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to start a company that's called Smart Tech. And I'm like, okay, well, it kind of sounds like mine, Smart Smurf. That company ended up bankrupt in less than a year.
Wow.
And everything like that. Then I stopped doing side jobs. I was working the 9-to-5 jobs and everything like that. But when 2019 hit, I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to shine. Yeah. And everything. It's time for me to break that curse in the family and start becoming somebody.
You mentioned earlier that when you got let go of your job, you went into a depression right before you got your company. And then right now you just mentioned that when you were going through that moment, you were thinking about suicide. How have you been able to overcome that mental health? As men, we don't really speak on it, right? There's like this stigma, this thing we always like. We feel like if you say you're depressed or if you feel like you say you're suicidal, like you're weak, right? Like that's what we think. Society makes us feel like if you do any of these things, you're just a weak person. Yeah. We were talking the other day, and we say that like men don't go to therapy; we listen to podcasts, right? So I think there's a perfect place where, if you have any advice, or if you could at least share how you kind of overcame that, or you might still be going through it at times, right? Because depression is one of those things that just doesn't go away. Right? It could always come. But how have you been able to deal with it?
Like I told you earlier, the mind is your worst enemy. Yeah. So if you listen to your mind's gonna trick you and believing in shit that doesn't even exist. For me, was that I always kept everything for myself. Yeah. Every feeling that I was doing, I kept it inside, and I kept it inside and everything like that. Now, we're in 2022. Luckily, I have somebody on my side now that helps me out. And that's the problem about people, is that they might be having a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a fiance, whatever it is, and they think that they're on their side. But in reality, when shit happens, that person's not going to be on your side. Yeah. You got to find that partner that's going to be on your side. Right. Ups and downs. It doesn't matter where you're at. They're going to be there and support you. And that's what I have right now. Is my girlfriend, my fiance, is actually on my side. Yeah. And everything. Because when we started going out, I had that trust issue. I'm like, you know what? I have a company. I remember. I can't trust her. Yeah. So I gotta keep my eye on. Yeah. See what she wants. Little by little, you know, I moved in. We moved in together.
You got a little chihuahua.
A little rascal right
Snoop
there.
Dogg, right? That's
Snoop Dogg. Like that dude, this dude is like a little baby. And, you know, there was one job that we just finished up. And like a week later, they call me. They're like, hey, it's not working. So I go there, check it out. The whole shit is wrong. The whole shit is wrong. What do? I'm to the end point where I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm closing my company down. And I was to that point where my mind was already messing me up.
Yeah.
Thinking, just close your company up. Just close it. That's it. That's how you're going to get out. I called my fiance at that moment crying. And I told her, I'm closing my company up. I can't do this no more. It's too much now. She told me, pull your pants up and be a fucking man. Because I'm by your side no matter what. And right away, that pushed me forward. Told my guys, take it out. I'm bringing the new machine up.
We're doing it all over again.
We're doing it all over again.
Yeah.
I don't care if I lose money.
Yeah.
But I'm going to finish this job. That way this customer's happy.
Yeah, your reputation.
My reputation.
Yeah.
Now, they're happy now.
Yeah.
They're getting the cool air and everything like that. So how I fight it is not letting my mind play those tricks.
Yeah.
Telling me those negative thoughts right away. Because a lot of people, they say, hey, I'm going up. But then something dramatic happens and they go down like this.
Yeah.
And the problem is that they listen to their mind right away and they're like, well, I can't do it no more.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of small businesses close down after 3 years because they see the struggle and they'll want to work the harder way.
They don't want to put in the work.
It's just like there's a picture around that's going through Facebook. There's this guy that's using a picket, and he's so close to the goal.
And then he stops before.
And he stops.
Yeah.
And the top guy, it's already at the goal.
Yeah.
But the other guy is going back.
Yeah, because he got tired of hitting that damn rock, right?
And he was getting tired. So that's what it is. A lot of people are so close to being successful that they quit.
Yeah.
And they say, why didn't I get successful? You were this close, buddy.
Yeah.
You were this close already.
Consistency. Just keep pushing through it, right? Whether good or bad, just keep pushing through it.
That's how life is.
Yeah.
It's never going to be happy every day.
I learned something today. I feel motivated. I feel like I could break this damn wall right now. And I hope everyone watching feels the same way, or at least learns something. If you didn't learn from his success, at least you learn from his struggles and poor decisions that we all make in our lives. Manny's blessed in many ways because a lot of people do go through these things and they never actually go through that wake-up call. And some of them, it's just too late, right? You could have been inside your home when it got shot.
Yeah.
Right? You could have spent a lot of time in prison or jail for, drug dealing, all these different things. Instead, you decided to, life give you lemons, you made lemonade, right?
Yeah.
It's the best way to explain it. Shout out to you. I appreciate you guys coming. Yeah. I know it was a long drive to get out here.
Nah, no problem.
Bright and early.
Yep.
But I appreciate it. This is Ghetto But It Works, from the people that come from nothing and make it work. Have a great day. Peace.